We dismiss history at our peril.
Liberty Nation Radio with Mark Angelides.
And we're back with Liberty Nation's chief political correspondent, Mr. Graham Joe Noble. Now, earlier in the show, we were talking Hunter Biden, the latest Groundhog Day releases of information that showed he paid money to his father, Joe Biden, from his limited companies. And now, of course, the Fourth Estate, in all of its wisdom and glory, has decided that there's some shenanigans taking place in Washington, D.C. But lo and behold, it is not Joe Biden, current President Joe Biden. It's former President Donald Trump, who, should he get into office, would no doubt bring about the end of times. Graham, what's your take on this latest hysteria from Washington, D.C.?
Well, I think they've pretty much everybody has now realized that the GOP primary race which hasn't yet begun in earnest because we haven't had any primaries yet, but they're not far off. But the
January
thing is,
15th for the first one, for those of you who are paying attention.
But people realize that this race is over before it's begun. And that Trump will be the GOP nominee for 2024. And so now, they're literally pulling out all the stops, to come up with all the analogies I can. They're throwing everything throwing everything but the kitchen sink against Donald Trump. And believe me, someone would try to throw a sink at him if they could.
Absolutely.
And of course they're screaming about, if he gets into office, it'll be a dictatorship. He will. Adam Schiff just very recently, within the last couple of days, I believe, said that quote, he, meaning Trump, he will terminate the Constitution if he's allowed to, end quote. And they're talking about he'll never leave office if he gets reelected. He'll never leave office, but that doesn't make any sense because he can only serve one more term anyway. It's not like he can again say at the end of his term he can't run for re-election and lose and then say, oh, it was rigged, because he can't run again.
I love that quote. Could you read it again to me?
Yes. Adam Schiff said he will. Well, I mean, he said a bunch of other things as well, but at the end of it, he said, and he will terminate the Constitution if he's allowed to.
Those are the words. He will terminate the Constitution if he's allowed to.
Yes.
Well, what does that even mean? If who allows him to? Who allows someone to terminate the Constitution? And let's really dig deep into Mr. Schiff, Representative, possibly even future Senator of California, yes. Adam Schiff. Terminate the Constitution. All of a sudden, these people who have been trying to change the Constitution, get rid of the Second Amendment, crush the First Amendment, and all other things. We even had a big push recently to add new amendments, courtesy of Monica Lewinsky, of all people. Mind-blowing, I know, but they're concerned about somebody else changing the Constitution. So it brings us back to the point of they don't care about the Constitution.
No.
They just want to change it in a way that they want. They don't want anybody else to change in a way that doesn't benefit them. Not that Donald Trump could get the Constitution changed unless he did a Reagan-esque landslide, which, let's be pretty clear about this, that's hugely unlikely, I think.
Yes.
Graham, your take on this?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, just to echo what you said, I mean, the Democrats have not for years shown the slightest bit of respect for the Constitution. So it's funny. But of course, they realize that they throw out that word because the moment you say the word Constitution, if you're elected an official and you are speaking on television or on the radio or you're giving an address somewhere, the moment you use the word Constitution, you know that the ears of all the conservatives in the country prick up, and the moment you mention that something or someone is a threat to the Constitution, you are naturally going to assume that that is going to turn most conservatives against whatever it is that's the threat to the Constitution. But most conservatives know very well that if there's a threat to the Constitution that exists today, it is the Democratic Party.
Well, let's be quite specific here, because the Democrats have been no friend to the Constitution, but neither have the Republicans. Let's be
Not
absolutely
no.
clear about this.
Yeah,
They've
right.
not really been stalwarts when it comes to we need to protect things. But what if you think about the very definition of what I would say are the factions that exist outside of the party? They're contra-party factions, if I might. And you've got conservatives, as you were just saying, and these are the ones that really listen out for. Somebody said the word constitution. It's like squirrel to a hunting dog. And,
That's right. Yeah.
But then you've got the progressives on the other side. So let's get rid of the party things here. That no Democrats, no Republicans.
Oh, if only we could do it.
Oh, yeah. So you've got conservatives who, it's in the name, I might add, are about conserving things, right? And then you've got progressives, and it's in the name, and it's about progressing beyond where we are today. And then you look at those and you think, which one, based on their very terminologies, the names they actually choose to identify with, which one is most
more
likely
to get rid of the Constitution? Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And progressives and you're more extreme, you're more fringe progressives. Well, I guess they're all fringe to a certain extent, but the more zealous progressives have often said that basically they've often hinted that the Constitution is just they like to say it's a living document, which means that they can just change it on the fly as they want. And they've gone so far as to, even some of them, on social media, have speculated, it's like, isn't the Constitution itself just completely out of date, antiquated? It's not, it doesn't fit in with modern times. So, Trump, while Trump was president, he never did anything that indicated that he intended to terminate the Constitution.
He didn't. That's right. Specifically, Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe, he made this point that Trump, if he gets into office again, will be a complete fascist, and he'll tear the Constitution apart. And then said, just look at what he did the last time. And it was really it was a very much a dog whistle to a past that didn't exist and fevered dreams that didn't come true at the time. And I've no doubt we'll see much more of this going into the election year 2024 ad nauseum, exactly. And Graham J. Noble will be writing about it on the pages of libertynation.com. Graham, thank you ever so much for being here.
Thanks a lot, Mark. It's a pleasure.
We dismiss history at our peril.
Liberty Nation Radio with Mark Angelides.
Don't get caught up in the media madness. Join our movement for free thinking and free speech at libertynation.com. Publishing news and analysis 24/7 with original articles by our team of authors who tell it like it is. Join us each week for online TV shows, The Uprising Podcast, and Liberty Nation Radio. We believe in free thinking and free speech. We are libertynation.com.